Black Power family, peace and Black Power. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, Jambo, Ashe, I didn't forget Ashe. And just welcome all the blessings of love and light and peace to our family. And today, yes, is another stream, another episode of Sister Sip Down. This is going to be one of the greatest Sister Sip Downs yet. I'm tongue-tied, y'all. I'm excited because we have the one and only legendary Dr. Shahrazad Ali, y'all. Sisters, I told you I would deliver. And if you're ready to get some, get a real sit down and get some good advice, listen in, learn how to be better wives, better sisters, better mothers, this is the stream you want to be in. So today I am sipping on, believe it or not, just regular old Gold Peak. Girl, I'm just sipping on some Gold Peak unsweetened iced tea, but I love it. It's so good. I infused it with ginger, fresh blueberries, and lemon. So I'll pass it over to my sister Letitia, the co-host, so she can let us know what she's sipping on, and Talia too, and then we can bring in the one and only Dr. Shahrazad Ali.
Thank you, Napah, as usual. Thank you for having me here. Shout out to the chat. I am having some juice, some Minute Maid juice right now. I'll probably switch it later, but that's what I'm having.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say I might switch up to some wine, but I won't switch up into some wine with Sister Dr. Shahrazad Ali on the stream. But anyway,
I'm so excited.
Go ahead, Talia.
Shalom, shalom. I'm glad to be here. Tonight I'm just sipping on some Zevia 0-calorie soda. You know, trying to watch my calories.
Awesome. What flavor?
Ginger root beer.
Okay. Without further ado, let's bring on the one and only Dr. Shahrazad Ali. Everybody, y'all, give her a hand. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. How are you, sister?
I'm doing fine, praise to Allah. And let me tell you what I'm drinking. I feel kind of ghetto. Mine is in a styrofoam cup. But I'm having a bitter melon and cinnamon and Jim Nema.
Oh, wow. That sounds very healthy. Did you brew it yourself?
Yes, I did. You know, I fight this diabetes, and so I have to have different kind that helps bring my blood sugar down.
Oh, beautiful. And you know what? I already told you this before the show, but you are ageless, timeless, gorgeous, all the is. You look so beautiful. And
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's just an honor to have you with us. I mean, we don't deserve your presence, but we are very thankful to have you.
That's not true. We all have equality here, especially when it comes to our men.
Oh, I love you. See, I told y'all that this is going to be the one. This is the Sister Sit Down. So I just want to ask you, everyone knows, if you haven't been living under a rock, you know who Dr. Shahrazad Ali is. The Black Man's Guide to the Black Woman is one of her, is the how can I say it? One of the
book is actually, wait a minute, the book is actually The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman.
Oh, right, my bad. And I have the book. So I always say to the Black woman, but understanding, yes, excuse me, pardon me. So now we know that book was very not only controversial, but it made so many changes in the relationship of Black men and women. Even though a lot of pushback was from that book, a lot of sisters owe you, they're indebted to you for saving their marriages. Am I right about that, Doctor?
Absolutely. I have letters from women who say they used to hate me, but after listening and studying and finally reading the book 20 and 25 years later, they say, thank you. They said, I not only read it myself, I bought one for my daughter and I gave one to my sister, and they do, you know, all of that. So I have had redemption in that way, you know, and I have been justified that I was not lying. I was not exaggerating, and I was not trying to break us up. I was trying to put us together.
Right. You were, and you were trying to help your sisters because you're a Black woman yourself. And
absolutely. And I have Black biological sisters. I have Black daughters, Black granddaughters. And so, you know, I would not come out and try to introduce an idea that would be harmful to any of us, including myself. And so we have lived under the shadow of so much falsehood that the enemy has fed us about relationships or how to get along or misinformation about our Black men that we really don't know how to get along. And we have chosen, many of us, to live in falsehood because it seems like it's easier, but it's not easier. And it destroys us and it destroys any potential we have with a man.
Wow, thank you. I want to ask you about that, Dr. Ali. Why is it so hard? Because a lot of the pushback was that the Black woman was like, why is she giving our secrets away and breaking us down and showing the Black man about, how we are, giving him our kryptonite. So why is it so hard for our sisters to go out of their way to please their man?
Well, I think whenever I hear a sister say that she don't like men, including our gay sisters, when they say, I can't stand men, I don't want no man, I'm tired of them, I'm moving on, and a lot of things, then they really haven't had a man, because there's nothing more satisfying than being able to please your man in the home, especially in regard to fixing his food, fixing his dessert, helping him dress, and just little small things that we can make him feel wanted. We have a man who everybody hates. We hate him. His mama hate him. His family hate him. The white police hate him. The regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us. We have the best man on earth. Everybody wants him. He looked better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too. But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow. Continue to teach. Whoa. Because
that's powerful.
This is what we're dealing with. And the fact that they have taught us to be so insecure, and they have forced their relationship values on us. We don't have anything to do with how the white woman get along with her white man. We got a totally different circumstance. But every time they have an issue or make any issue in the relationship a priority, we jump right on it. We run around that talking about our man gotta have good credit. Give me a break. You know, it's just all nonsense. And they use those things to keep us apart, not to put us together.
And we fall for it. We fall for it as sisters and hook, line, and sinker. And then we wonder why we're alone and miserable. So I want to ask you a question. I would like to ask you a question, just getting right into it, because in your book, you tell sisters, look, you're not equal to your husband. And you go into it very, very well. And you explain that submission really is a key to the happiness, a woman being satisfied. Because I heard what you just said right now. You said a woman is happy to please her man. She should be, at least. Right. So talk to us about the whole battle of the sexes and women fighting for that power and that control in relationships. What can sisters do to try to really enjoy being submissive? What can they do, doctor?
Well, submissive just really means agreement. I say that all the time. Okay? It just means that if he gives a direction or comes up with an idea, then we need to think it over and try to get with it, if it makes any sense. And as far as us thinking we're better than him, it ain't nobody better than the black man on the earth. He is the first man that God designed. and everybody else came after him, every nationality, even us. And so we have the man who is supreme over all of the other men on the earth. Now, what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that. Many of us do that because we're disappointed. You know, I've been talking with the brothers about trying to get in touch with or make peace with their fathers. Because many of our people who didn't have a father, we have that father hunger. And almost everything we know about our father was told to us by our mother, who was mad at him about their relationship. Wow. It has nothing to do with us being their child and them being our father. Fatherhood is not based on whether or not he can pay child support or not. We don't care as children. You can't find a child that care whether the father giving them anything. They want their daddy. Yes. And we have deprived them of that based on some rules that white people set up. And we will tell people he don't do nothing for him, so I don't let him see him. And that is the worst thing. That's not hurting the man as much as it's hurting our own child.
Preach.
Oh, right. Thank you, doctor. We got to give them.
We have to work on those kind of things. You know, even if we don't like the father, and most of us don't after a while, especially if you didn't stay with him or get married, if you don't like him. You liked him at one point, or you wouldn't have the child.
Right.
So you do like him. It's just we don't like him no more, and we make the child suffer for our dislike. And that's wrong. It ain't never going to be right. And we'll never have a normal child until we reunite our men with their own fathers so that they will know we need to have a moratorium on us all hating and being mad at our fathers. Because it's hard now for a black man to pay all of the things, to have a job. He's living in a society, as I say, where he is totally kept down as much as possible. So if it's like that in 2021, what do y'all think it was like that in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s? He didn't have nothing. He was pushed out based on money most of the time because we all need the money. And so, you know, we have let them use that. That still is not more important than trying to have that relationship with him. And yes, we should be trying to rebuild him. Many of them, they have just given up. You should hear the letters they write to me. And many of them will, you know, they'll tell me, they'll say, thank you. You finally explained some things to me my own mother wouldn't tell me. Because when, you know, when people say I'm giving up secrets, I'm not giving up secrets. I'm just leveling the playing field. Right. We know everything about them. They haven't known anything about us, and it has allowed us to manipulate and play them because they didn't know what they was dealing with. All I did is try to give him a hand to say, hey, this is what you're dealing with.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, doctor. I want to, you said something in all that wisdom that you just imparted to the family and blessed us with. You said a lot of them have given up, and I want to talk to you about this movement. And I talked to you a little bit about it before when we had that interview last year with Sonetter. Shout out to Sonetter. Now, the brothers are giving up, and they're calling it a movement like men going on their own way, the red pill. Men are calling it the manosphere. They're saying, forget about it. We're done with the black woman. We're going to tell her to go her way. Have you heard about this movement?
I have heard it a lot. But you have to remember, they're dealing with decades of resistance and hostility and having their money taken and not being able to have a proper meal to even eat. Most of our men, and I'm around different grocery stores, you know, some of those stores where they sell a plated dinner or a little carton of food they're given. And if any sister is looking for a man, she need to go to the grocery store around 5 or 6 o'clock. Because they all in line, they all lined up trying to get a plate of food for $10.
Wow, that's right. That's
and
right.
I tell the sisters, if you start cooking, he'll come by your house. He'll show up and he'll sit there a while. Okay, just
I love
food.
her.
Food is what sustains life. We have
Yes.
always been the people who have to nurture the entire family with food. Our men are in bad health because they're eating wrong. They're eating all of that salt. They're eating pork. They're eating all of that grease. They're doing everything because they're buying food from the enemy. See? When we could fix a brother something to eat, as it stands now, a man can't even ask a woman, can she cook? That's a turnoff, and she'll get rid of him if he say, hey, baby, can you cook? That's the end of that.
Wow.
Because that's how our women have been programmed to believe. And I tell them all the time, yeah, you got good credit, you got credit cards, you got that BMW. Let me see you crawl up in the bed with it at night.
Oh, yes. Thank you. No, doctor, I love you. I'm telling you,
Oh my God.
you are blessed. The Almighty, the Most High, Allah, has blessed you to be so, you touch the vein, you touch the nerve of everything that has been laid upon the Black man and ultimately the Black woman, because when we listen to you, it's not you putting the man up is helping us as women. You are saving us. So with me saying all that, when you talked about food, you took it all the way back home. You took it back to our values from our mothers and the mothers before us. Now you started out talking about food.
There are women in our community, in other communities, I want to say, and their man may not be there. So they put a picture of the man on the mantle, and they teach their children to honor that picture. Okay? Because that's their father.
Yes.
And it represents a decision that I made to lay down with him and reproduce and make this child. Okay? We don't even show our children their daddy. And if we say anything about him, it's usually negative. And it's usually based on something that we have going with the man that we mad about. Because we always mad at him. And he do things to make us mad. But we gonna have to learn to back that up some. It's a lot of people that do things against us to make us mad. And we don't treat them as bad as we treat our baby daddy.
Oh, woo, thank you. Talking about that, Dr. Ali, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. Now, for y'all that don't know, Dr. Ali, she's about nutrition and health. And she started out initially, what prompted her to start her book is the pushback, the Black wives that told their husbands, I'm not going to cook, I'm going to keep cooking pork. I want you to talk about that, Dr. Ali. Talk about what happened with that.
Yeah. You know, I'm really just your sister. I'm not a doctorate.
You're my doctor. You know, you can't tell me. You can't tell me you're not my doctor. But I hear you.
But
go ahead.
I had written How Not to Eat Pork, and I had released it in 1985. That's probably before y'all was born. But I had released it in 1985. And I was going around traveling, and I was taking a microscope, showing them the worm in the pig, showing them pictures how you couldn't kill it with heat, which is what they had lied about and said, you know. And I noticed that the brothers sounded like they were more willing to change their diets than their women. And so I recognized, well, if we are withholding the proper food from our man, and food is what sustains life, okay? You got to eat to live.
Yes.
Then what else are we withholding that might also be stunting his growth and his health? And that's how I got up on the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Because I recognized that part of his problem is that he didn't know who he was dealing with.
Okay. He didn't know he didn't know that his wife was his enemy. He's living with the enemy.
He didn't know that we had been taught to be the enemy, but inside we could be a much better person, you know, and he could manage our hysteria if he knew what he was dealing with us from a child, with the things our mothers had told us through her disappointment, the things our grandmothers had told us from her disappointment. See, things like success and happiness, those are choice things. You know, I've seen women sit on the curb with a brother that's on crack. They both on crack, and they smiling and hugging and kissing. Okay.
Best love.
I love it. Yes.
It depends on what's in your head, okay? And we got the only man that don't want to get married. Our brothers, most of them, they don't want to get married because it's such a pain in the behind dealing with us about marriage. We want this real expensive ring. We want to give money to some other white people or some Greeks or Asians or somebody other than self. We want to be able to have all this fabulous furniture and home, not just for ourselves, but to show off in front of other people. And so we put a pressure on our man. And then if we break up with our man, then we put him under the child support system that destroys the rest of his life, destroys his credit. They can take his car, stop him from getting health insurance. All of these things happen under the child support program. And the way the devil has got it set up, if he makes $500 a week, they want $400 of it. See, they don't want to leave him anything to even survive on. And that's another issue I want to mention. We going around talking about we don't want to have no children. These young girls out here having babies, but I'm going to tell you, we need to support them having babies because we need the numbers. Our birth rate is down.
Talk.
The Asians, the Puerto Ricans, the Latinos, everybody having more babies than us. Now that's not just a testament. That's not just a testament to us not getting along with him. Because the only time we get along with him is when we laying down. When we stand up, then we're mad. Okay?
Right.
But the problem is that they got all of these abortion clinics that make it simple and easy to go in and come out in a few hours and you're done.
Yes.
So we're going to have to get a program where we help support some of these young women that have these babies, because as I say, we need the numbers. And the farther down on the list in America in numbers we go, then the least important we are to the American government to give us any kind of support. Because we are not important. And that is why white people don't do anything about racism in America. So don't sit around expecting that. Tell your children the truth, and you and your man discuss the truth about it. Because every day he leave home, you don't know if he's coming back because it's a white man out there want to kill him.
Oh, yes. The police want to kill them.
Okay?
Let me talk to you.
And as a result of the ignorance that we have been taught, there's also a black man possibly out there that want to kill him.
Yes, trained
so
to
we
kill
have
his
a
own.
lot of issues. We have a lot of things that we got to deal with. They don't deal with racism in America regarding black men or black women or black children because it doesn't affect them. The white mother is not worried whether her son go out if the police gonna stop him and choke him to death.
Yes.
She's not worried if they're gonna throw her teenage son on the ground and handcuff him and shoot him in the back. She's not worried that her husband gonna go to get a job and not gonna get it because he white. See,
Preach.
so all of these things are working against us out here, but it don't affect them. They just move somewhere and separate themselves from what it looks like we're bringing on ourselves, but we're not. They bringing it on us, and they bring it on our man in the worst possible ways.
Wow.
And then finally, when he gets to us, all we want to know is who was you with last night? What did y'all do? I didn't check your phone and all of that nonsense.
Wow. 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 Woo. Y'all take a sip. We need to take a sip. Take a sip, Dr. Sister Shahrazad Ali. I want to ask you, you are doing, this is so wonderful. I just want to ask you if we could take it in the direction of when you talked about the abortion. A lot of men are saying today, I don't want to be with any woman with children. Talk to us about that new movement.
Well, that's because they are afraid and they have been taught separation of the family instead of separation from the enemy. And so their attitude is that they don't want to take care of it because they see it as another financial obligation. And they see it as having to maybe go through some changes with another father that's out there that maybe is being prevented from seeing his children because the woman got a new man or something. And so it gets to be difficult, but that's something that they have taught separation. In a lot of countries, when families have children, the children grow up and they just go live next door or at the other end of the house when they get married or whatever. But we are taught that when you grow up at 18, we kick our children out. They got to go. They got to go make their own way. We don't want to help them. They got to go. And that's even with people who have had foster children. They put them out at 18. See, because they don't want us to have one washing machine and one refrigerator. They want everybody in the family to have a washing machine and a refrigerator. It's all about money. It's economics to separate the family instead of keeping them together.
Right. The materialism is different from, would you say that things are worse than they've ever been as far as Black women and Black men, but especially, I got to say it, our sisters are always thinking about, I got to have this, the latest this, the latest that. I got to look to have all the money. Talk to us about the materialism and how sisters can work on that to try to not look for a man to have millions of dollars.
Well,
to qualify
this
as
is the problem. This is another problem we have. We don't have nothing to do. And women that don't have nothing to do, okay? Women that don't have nothing to do concentrate on their fingernails, their eyelashes, their breasts, their buttocks, you know, they Louis Vuitton, they Chanel, they Prada, all of them other white people names on different things, okay? Our women don't have nothing to do. Now, there are some churches who are starting back to having knitting groups. They're having crocheting groups, and they're teaching women how to do different skills, you know. And a lot of what I talk, people say, oh, sister, that's back, that's old school. No, that's the school where things were working.
Facts.
That's the school where we could get along with our man and he would come home to us.
Wow.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
And so it's not, you know, there are universal principles that govern everything. And the things that I talk about in relationship are just some basic standards that we must practice if we want a better man. He can't rise until we rise.
Yes.
Not in the women's lib thing, but in being able to be a woman to him. We don't give our man no peace. We nag him all the time. We ask him for things he can't afford. Do you realize that everything we want from him is connected to money, and everything he wants from us don't cost nothing? He want a smile. He want a, hey, baby, how you doing? It's going to be okay. Oh, no, we can work it out. He wants that. That don't cost nothing. Okay? Everything we want is that I want a number 10 hair weave. You know, I want to get my nails done. I need my new sneakers. I mean, you know, we press him for things that the enemy deliberately keeps him from getting.
Wow.
That's a lot of pressure on a man. So I can understand them saying, hey, we tired of fighting with y'all. We going on our own way. Y'all better all try to get you one before they gone, period. I'm telling you, because they are sick of the nonsense we practice.
Wow. I want to ask you, because I know there's this is fire. This is medicine. Yes. She is the doctor, Shahrazad Ali. See, back in, I'm not as young as I look. Okay. But the sisters in the 20s, the sisters in their 20s, this is medicine. This is medicine for them, because they need to hear this, because they don't have the mothers of the olden times to tell them, because they have babies raising babies. But I want to ask you to keep this flow going, this healing going, and then we're going to have some people call in and ask some questions.
Yeah, but we're not. We're living in a time where all the values have been perverted and turned around. We didn't keep a man back in the day by twerking. Okay, that was not enough. It's not enough now. And the fact that many of our younger sisters are out in the middle of the streets and in the clubs and everywhere else with their naked, not clothes on, with their naked behinds off, shaking their butt in front of men and women and children, old people, anybody. It's just absurd. This shows you we are the queen of the universe, the mother of civilization.
Yes.
And look what the examples. Every nation is judged by its worst examples. And that information, when we have our men out there acting ignorant and our women out there, it goes all around the world because of technology. And so other people in other countries think that's the Black woman.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. They do. And they're talking about roles. I mean, when you say twerking and how women, our role in society, can you talk to the sisters about femininity in a relationship and how far it works and how much power it actually gives them? Femininity?
Well, I think actually all women know when to get soft. They know when to soften their voice, and they know when to do a lot of things when we want something. Okay. And you know, it's like sex. Don't nobody have to teach you how to do it. So all women already know how to be feminine. Okay. But now there are some instructions that could be given about dressing more modestly. You know, there was a time when the way you could distinguish the whores from the civilized and dignified woman was her wardrobe. So the whores dressed one kind of way and the decent women dressed another way. But the enemy stopped making decent clothes. And so now all the women look like whores. You can't tell hardly the difference. And so we have to have women who feel more confident in themselves, that they don't have to use their body just to entice a man. It don't matter what kind of body you got. If the man loves you, he gonna love your body. So that's not really the issue. And I keep telling the sisters, it ain't none of what we think it is. It ain't how your makeup look. It ain't how fine you think you are. It ain't how big your butt is. It is none of those things. It don't last. It may get his attention for a minute, but because it's a low desire, it will not withstand the test of time. And when I say time, I mean a month.
Oh, let me talk, Dr. Ali. I want to talk to you about that, because in these YouTube streets and in our communities, there are men that are saying they're high value, and they're actually telling women the opposite. They're saying it's about how you look, and they're saying if you don't look like anything, you won't have a valuable husband. So can you, for a minute, talk to the brothers about that?
Well, that's not, I don't think that's really, when I remember that some of them are confused too by the enemy, but that's not what I think they mean by that. What they mean is that even though we don't like to do a lot of cooking, we like to do a lot of eating. And so he's saying he don't want us weighing 250 and 300 pounds trying to wear a thong. Okay? He's saying that he wants us to go to the gym. He wants us to exercise and keep ourselves up. He don't want to come home and your head sticking out, your hair all over your head, and you looking wild and savage and mad. That's what he means. He wants us to put some effort to look nice for him. Looking nice does not necessarily mean that you have to wear Prada and Louis Vuitton and all of that nonsense from the white people, because that's nothing that belonged to us anyway.
Right.
Yes.
You know.
Wow.
So, and he don't mean that you got to garb up and cover up from head to toe. He just means to dress modest and stop getting dressed to go out to try to attract another man to prove to him that somebody else wants you.
Oh, wow. And what, let me ask you about that. You are on fire. I am so blessed to have you here sharing this.
I gotta go. So y'all come on. Ask me now. I gotta go.
Do you wanna take some calls? Just a couple?
Why don't we do that?
Okay, please, family. As you see, I told you this is good. This was gonna be an amazing stream. This was so awesome. I'm gonna go back myself and watch it about 2 or 3 times, because these are jewels. So family, please call in. The doctor doesn't have the doctor. I don't care what anybody says. This is real spiritual, holistic healing. The doctor doesn't have a lot of time, so please call in. My beautiful mods, thank you so much. Would you drop the phone number in the chat? But I wanted to ask you about the insecurities, the jealousy that women have between each other. While we wait for a call to come in, talk to us about the jealousy between women, please.
Yeah, it's really bad. But that jealousy is just based on one thing. We think our man is going to have sex with somebody else. Now, let me say this. This is really, really important. All of us, we have 2 choices in life. Okay? You can be the woman or the other woman. Now, pick your choice and stay in your lane. Okay?
Okay, with that said, doctor, thank you. I have a caller. Caller, you're on the line. Will you please let us know who you are and where you're calling from? Hello? Okay, what would you like to ask, or any comment that you want to make? The doctor can hear you.
Yes, I bought a lot of your books. I got to rebuy some of them because they got stolen from my head.
1 second, brother. Can you hear him, doctor?
I can hear him enough. Yeah, I can hear him enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, I bought a lot of your books. I got to rebuy the books because my ex a long time ago stole them. But it's been hard for me to try to find a wife that's gonna build with me, and mostly what I've been finding is I've been beside men most of the time, or one of the other men most of the time, and it's really been hard. I mean, I'm in the aviation field, and I make pretty good, but it's just really hard to find a good companion to even try to wife.
Well, okay, I hear you. Listen, okay, listen. This is the situation. Everywhere I go, the women say they can't find no man, and all the men say they can't find no women. And whenever I try to put y'all in the same room together, you just fight like hell. So there's something wrong with us constantly saying that about each other. That's what I know. And I've been around more than the rest of y'all, okay? So what you have to do, brother, if you're looking for a woman, is try to find you a woman that ain't doing all the talking. If you see sisters together, try to find one that might be not have as much mouth, so maybe her ears are open and she can hear what you're talking about. Because I guarantee you that everything they do is to attract a man. The more clothes a sister take off, the more desperate she is, the more insecure she is. Wow. The more clothes she take off, that ain't because she bold. That's because she's crying out, help me, be with me, show me some affection.
Wow, thank you so much, brother. Brother, thank you for calling. Thank you so much, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. And brother, thank you for calling in. I'm going to take the next caller. Thank you. Yes. Yes, who, just a second. Peace and Black Power. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Napah is Same Bad Network. My name is Nine Mills. I'm in Inglewood, California, but I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Yes. Peace to you, brother. What would you like to say to the doctor?
I just wanted to say to the doctor, I've been aware of your work for quite some time. I'm nearly 50. You are the bomb. God bless you. God bless your ancestors. God bless you, and I wish nothing but love on you. I am flattered to even be able to have you hear my voice, and I mean that. I'm honored.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, brother. We'll,
thank you.
I'm going to let you go, but continue to tune in, and I appreciate your support, okay? All right, peace and Black Power. All right, so you have a lot of people that you've touched, a lot of people, and all the praise that you get is not in vain, and it's not really flattery. You say so many lives.
Now, I'm not trying to flatter anybody. I'm just trying to tell the truth. We are losing our man because of the values that we have set on material things, and because of us having such a vicious mouth. We're so critical of everything. A man is not another woman. He's not going to think like us, and we're not going to think like him. Okay?
Yes,
so
thank you.
If he says things or talk about things that you don't understand, that's your lack of understanding. It don't mean he don't understand. He's not thinking like no woman. He's thinking like a man. And we like to have a man long as he don't act like a man. If he start acting like a man and giving directions and instructions and how he want it to be and how he want his children raised, then we have a problem. Women buy children clothes, and our little girls are walking around in every kind of little tight outfit. They look like little grown-ups. And there's enough perverts in America who look at those little girls and little boys and get a filthy idea. Okay?
Yes.
That ain't no father's choice, because if a father had the choice, they'd all wear blankets. Okay? Because men don't want their daughters out there like that.
Right.
And a lot of times women do that, and they'll tell the man, they'll get, with a man, and then he'll start talking to them about that she need to tone down how she was dressing. And our attitude is, this is how I look when you saw me. We got together and I was dressing like this. Or then her people will tell her, dress like you want to, do what you want to do. And I tell them, well, you can be right in that. That's your choice. But you'll not just be right, you'll be right by yourself.
Okay, thank you. And peace and Black Power. You're on the line with Sister Sipdown, and we have Dr. Shahrazad Ali here. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How you
doing? My name is Shar. I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Okay, what would you like to say or ask?
Hey, how you doing? I wanted to ask a question for Miss Shahrazad Ali.
She's listening to you, brother.
Okay, cool. The question was, what's your thoughts on polygyny and the fact that the subject is becoming more prevalent in the Black community?
Okay, brother, I'm gonna let you go. That's a great question. Thank you for calling in and tuning in and listen to her answer.
Well,
okay, brother. Thank you.
Our men already practice polygamy. It's just serial polygamy and separation polygamy. But our men, as I said, there's no Black man on the earth. There's none in the history. There's none in the Bible. The Torah Article 1 that had one woman and loved her his whole life. I try to tell the sisters, let's deal with some reality. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about no man running around after a bunch of women just to have sex. I'm talking about that there are men that genuinely love 1, 2, or 3 women.
Yes.
Okay? And as long as they can take care of our emotional needs, which is all we are crying out for, then we'll accept that. We'll accept anything. If it'll let us be with a man and he'll take care and put his arm around us, we'll go for just about anything. And our men don't know that, because that's what we want. We are so afraid somebody gonna have better sex with him than we have. And it don't even matter. Whatever we bring to the party, that's what he accept and enjoy. It's not based on that. There's no men lining up women talking about who he had the best sex with. Sex don't save a relationship. That's why they have what they call them booty calls, where people go back to somebody that they ain't been with in years and months, okay? Sex may be an entertainment, but it is not anything that's going to hold a relationship together. Don't nobody break up over sex. You break up over those issues of not getting along.
Woo. Fire. Thank you for calling. You're on the line with Sister Sipdown and our special honored guest, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hello, my name is Linda, and I'm calling from the Big VA, Virginia.
Pleased to have you on the line, sis. What would you like to ask, or what is your comment?
Well, peace to you beautiful sisters up there. I'm enjoying the conversation, and much love and respect and honor to our beautiful Queen Mother, Shahrazad Ali. I've been watching her since she was on the Phil Donahue show years ago, and I'm still watching, my love. My question to her is, would she mind explaining, giving her thoughts and views on the interracial agenda being pushed in our communities? And I'll listen offline. Thank you, ladies. Have a lovely evening.
Oh, thank you, sis. Much love to you. Peace and Black
questions.
Okay. I'm going to answer that, but let me finish that other question, that previous question.
Of course.
One of the things that we deal with is some kind of psychotic disappointment if we find out or think that our man is entertaining some time with another woman, okay? Now, our mother, our grandmother, our great-grandmothers, our great-great-grandma, none of them have ever had a man by themselves.
Talk.
Okay?
Talk.
So this is not a new idea. That's my point, okay? And I don't know why anybody think that they would have something that ain't nobody else got. They think they got the one man that ain't never gonna be with another woman. That's not real. And that's what I try to teach reality. That's not real. You ain't gonna have no man that don't never have another. I ain't never had a man that didn't have another woman. Neither have you.
Preach.
Okay?
Thank you.
Preach,
That's just the truth of it. That's the reality. And so what I try to teach is reality about our relationships and our men. He's not wired like that to just love one woman. It's one sun and it's 9 planets.
Talk.
Woo. You are on fire.
And I'm not saying, of course, that no man should be ridiculous to try to have 9 women because he can't afford to do that. He can't afford to do that emotionally because we are so crazy. Every day we got an issue. Okay? So he can't deal with a whole bunch of us or it'll kill him. You know, as I said, I killed my first husband. I know what happened. Right? Because we ran him nuts. We ran him just nuts. Okay? But I learned better. And so I've been trying to teach better and to get us past this jealousy thing. It's only so much you can do with that. with sex. I'm talking about, because that's the deal breaker.
Right.
Okay, that's when we go crazy. All right, and we need to pull back from that. It's only it is just not that big of a deal. We spend less time doing that than everything else in life. Okay, and so we need to be able to accept that we all have a certain enticing beauty. I mean, I have seen men with women, and I would think, he is so handsome. How did she get him? But he wasn't looking at her outer beauty. He's looking at her inner beauty.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so while we teaching our daughters to look good, we best be teaching them how to be good if they gonna have a man.
Oh, preach! Thank you so much. You know what? And because she brings him more peace usually than the beautiful one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you know, in fact, one time, of course, it's 100 years ago, but I asked my husband why he was dealing with somebody else about something. He said, well, she keep me from killing you.
Oh, peace and black power. Family, you are on the line with Sister Sipdown and the Honorable Dr. Shahrazad
Look at
Ali.
it like that. And the other thing, don't no woman want to be bothered with no man 24/7. We got things to do. We got places to go. We got to deal with ourselves, the house, the children. So give somebody Thursday and Friday. It's okay. You'll survive.
Yes.
Right. But if no woman want to be bothered with no man every day and every night, and y'all know that's the truth. See, if we could just deal in truth, we could make some progress.
Thank you.
But because we want to hold on to fantasy and jealousy, thinking somebody gonna get something more than we getting or whatever. Okay, it ain't no woman want to have sex every night. It just don't exist. So let somebody else do that a couple of days and you go take care of something else, you know? It's all right. You're not gonna die. You ain't been dying and he been doing the same thing.
Okay. And you would want somebody to be honest with you. Wouldn't you want honesty, right, doctor?
Why? We're not honest. That's another thing. Let me get on that. We always want somebody to tell us the truth. We don't tell the truth. It's optional. We tell the truth when it's convenient, when we think it'll benefit us, when we think it'll make him admire us or whatever. But we're not the truth tellers. So we always going around. Well, you know, the women used to tell me, they would be, like I said, they would have fake breasts, fake eyelashes, fake hair, and then they would tell me, but I want a real man. You know, and I used to laugh about that. I laugh about that because we ain't no more real than they are. We just lie differently. Okay? They're not as shrewd as us, so they get busted. They get caught and they lie. You know, we'll lie for 10, 20 years. We can lie for 10, 15, 20 years and don't never tell the truth about something.
Wow, Dr. Shahrazad Ali, we have somebody on the line, a brother who would like to speak to you. And brother, you are on the line. Doctor can hear you. What would you like to say? Peace. By the way, where are you calling from? What is your name? And what would you like to say to the doctor? Are you there? I think can you hear me, caller? Oh, well, I think he might have hung up. Wow, that was
I must have scared him off.
No, actually, he's probably at a loss for words. He never heard a sister just come right out and just say that if he hasn't read your book. Wow, thank you so much. That is so, look, y'all, as I said, I know I'm laughing and we're having so much fun, but these are jewels that you can use from not just for yourself, but not just for yourself. You can pass it on to your daughters and they pass it on to their daughters.
Right. That's right.
So, yes, thank you, doctor. Oh, they're calling back.
We tend to teach our daughters how not to have a man.
Wow.
We give them rules. We give our daughters rules that keep them from getting a man. Now, of course, you have sisters who be around and who say, well, I've been waiting on a man for 20 years and I ain't found one. Well, then it's something that's not working out right in that. Because men are attracted to certain things, not just a big behind. They are attracted to other values. Like that brother called in. He said, I don't even know no women that want to be a wife. My grandson is 20 years old. And he told me, Grandma, you don't know what's out there. He said, you can't find no girlfriend. He's 20 years old and he is handsome. He's fine as hell. He is intelligent. I raised him. This boy can talk, walk. He can keep house. He can write a check. He can do everything. Okay.
Wow.
He's not like a lot of these young men out here. This boy had a mother and a father, so we know he's good. But he say it's very hard to find a girl out here.
Wow. Wow. Peace and Black Power. You're on the line with Sister Sipdown and the guest, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. What would you like to ask? What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what would you like to ask?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, do you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, this is Tamara. I want to ask the doctor a question here. A lot of men, you know, black, I understand what she's saying about the black man and the black woman and all this type of situation, but a lot of your black men, they want white women because they want to have a baby with good hair. They think a sister's hair is too nappy and they don't want their children to have nappy hair. What does she have to say about that? And
is that a white woman or a black woman?
Well, sis, she's talking to you, so you can engage. She said, "Are you white or black?"
No, I am a black woman.
Okay. Now that's something that I've never heard. I have tended to hear black women talk more about the hair than men. Now, I haven't heard that, so I don't know what area of the country that I would hear that in.
Sister, they're out here, they're saying that, you know, and they're saying, hey, I don't want a black woman to have a baby with a black woman.
Let me tell you this.
Her hair is nappy.
Let me tell you this. I don't care what kind of lie he make up about why he want a white woman. He just want a white woman. When they get that white fever, it ain't nothing gonna solve it but them getting with a white woman. Now, the fact that he think he can have a little light-skinned Creole looking baby, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I have noticed out here from end of the country to the other. These interracial, so-called biracial babies and children, they not looking like they used to look. They look like just little regular Negroes, and they have little kinky hair like all the rest of our children. So it's not like that anymore. I don't know if it's the food. It might be the food, the water, but they not looking biracial no more.
No, they have nappier hair than us sometimes.
Yeah, they just look like regular Negro children.
Well, thank you for calling in, sis. That was a good question. You enjoy the show. Peace and Black Power.
Okay.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's like maybe there is some kind of evolution going on that they just coming right out looking, you know, the hair don't come out.
Like I said, that's all a lie. That's all a front. Because when a black man get white fever, it's hard to satisfy it. That's all I can say. That's why we have to have separation, because opposites attract, likes repel. And so they're going to be trying to get with her. And they try to get with her because they think she's going to treat them better than we do.
Right. And usually, what do you think about how they say, you know, how they say, well, she doesn't argue with me so much. What is it that she's doing that the black woman isn't doing besides the stuff you covered?
She's just being herself. She doesn't have the same ancestral slave history. She doesn't have the same racism and pressure and Jim Crow and everything that's been on her family. She haven't seen the hunger, seen the murder. She haven't lived that. She hasn't had to. As I said, the reason they don't deal with racism because it don't affect them like that. It ain't no thing. It's something we going through. They think as if we going through it alone without they man doing stuff to us, you know.
Right.
But that's usually what that is. She just hasn't had the same experience, so she's more cooled out. She don't have the same complaints we have, you know, because she's not familiar with what our cultural history is.
Dr. Shahrazad Ali, do you want to take one more call? Because we have one more.
One more, and then I got to go eat.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Peace and Black Power, are you there? Can you hear me? I think they hung up. Yes, you're going to have, what are you going to have if you don't mind me being nosy? I want to know.
Probably cottage cheese and pineapple.
Oh, that is my mom. That is my mother's favorite. And you know
that sounds kind of square, but that's probably what I'm gonna add.
No, you know what I want to say? You notice that she said something really light. You don't have to eat a heavy dinner. And that's probably why. That's why you look so young and you look so beautiful.
I have really enjoyed this. I rarely get a chance to just talk to women. And so this has been wonderful.
This is amazing.
It's for us.
Really let it go Hey, I really let it go and let y'all have it. So
And
you
I
have the
love
truth.
that. You
Okay?
know what? I love how you let it go. I wish you could keep letting it go, but I gotta respect that you gotta eat. So we're gonna take this last caller, and they're gonna
Okay.
be able to address you and give you a comment. Peace and Black Power. Peace and Black Power. They hung up. Well, that's the last one, y'all.
Okay.
Wow. Yes.
So
You
listen,
have to.
I thank you for inviting me. This has been wonderful. You all are young women. You have your future ahead of you. You can make choices that will allow you to have peace. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're embarrassed in front of some other woman because your man got another woman. All of us go through the same thing. It ain't no difference. You ain't gonna get nothing that the rest of us don't get, you know. So it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody know about it, you know. So just live your life, try to handle your business, and don't let another person destroy the happiness that you have with a man for whatever time you have with him.
I like that.
Okay.
I absolutely. I'm so thankful. Assalamu alaikum. I love you.
Salam.
You are the
How do I
doctor.
shut
the
this
healer.
off?
I'll remove you. I'll remove you.
Oh,
Peace
okay.
and Black Power.
Thank you so
Peace and Black
much.
Power.
Thank you.
Wow, y'all. That was family. That was awesome. That was beautiful. And I love her. She is one of our elders, an icon in our community. Ladies, hello. Wake up over there. I know you're starstruck. No, I'm just kidding. But wasn't that beautiful, the things she said? I mean,
She was on point.
what do you think? What hit you the most? I'm gonna start with Talia. What stuck with you so far? I know it's fresh, but what stuck with you with what she said so far?
All of it, I guess. You know, I'm relatively newly pro biblical marriage, however you want to put it. We stray away from the poly word, but it's just so many things about thinking of things from your man's perspective. And you know, my previous husband was a white man, and when I married my current husband, Aratiza, I had to learn, you know, so many things. And he taught me so many things just about the Black man. And if you don't take that time to get to know him, not just as a man, but as a Black man and what he goes through, you know, it's never going to work. So that definitely hit home with me.
Thank you. And what about you, Letitia?
I love everything that she said. She touched on so many different topics. Like, oh my God. She was on point with everything. It was amazing and refreshing to hear a woman say.
Really, it was. And I just love her. Hopefully she will grace our panel in the near future again. But, you know, I love how she just naturally went into talking about polygyny, because that's really what this stream is about today. Besides all the other gems that she shared with the family, polygyny is really, in my opinion, men are going to be polygynous anyway. So to really put it on the table and really structure it to work well and customize it to work well with you as a woman, it is really important. So your man, if you are in a relationship, when your man hears you say, okay, I'm interested in doing polygyny, put it on the table. It is very important. So with that said, I'm going to segue into our next guest. Yes, we have more guest family. It's not over. We have a sister coming on to share her story of polygyny and how it worked out with her when she actually was open to it. We also have a couple coming on who are practicing polygyny. The husband is. And you might know, he's very well known, Mighty Hebrew. He's going to talk to us about how his marriage works out and how it works well with polygyny. So without further ado, I'm going to bring the sister on, and we're going to talk to her and let her share her story. So let's give her a warm welcome. Welcome, Sister Katana. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I got the mute button. Okay, I'm good. Y'all can hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Peace and love, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Peace and Black Power. We are doing awesome. I know you were backstage listening to getting them gems.
Yes, I feel the energy that I was getting from that. I was loving it.
Yes, I love that. I'm trying to fix my necklace, y'all. I got to stay on point. Okie dokie. So you heard the doctor, Shahrazad Ali, talk a little bit about poly. And I have spoken to you. Before we even get started, I really want you to just share a little bit of your of who you are as far as you and your husband, you're married, and then go right into that amazing story that you were telling me. Go right into talking about the history, and we're gonna sit back and listen. And by the way, we're gonna sit back and sip. What are you sipping on, my beautiful sister?
Yes, I got some wine right here.
Awesome. So you go ahead and take a nice pull, and then you go ahead and get started. Y'all take a sip, and we'll sit back and listen.
Okay, and also, Napah, I want to thank you so much for inviting me on, giving me this opportunity to be able to tell my story.
It's my pleasure. So please, sister, go ahead and share what you shared with me. Especially, I want people to hear how open you were about poly with your husband.
Yes. Okay. So jumping right into it, just starting off, I recently actually came out of a marriage. I was married for 17 years, and divorced, and I met a king, and we decided to move forth with being polygyny. But just a little bit of background before it got to that point is that I have always been intrigued with polygyny. The research that I did, which you will see later on in my story, evidently I didn't do enough of it, but I was very intrigued with polygyny because when I looked it up, I was also looking into the point of just the building portion. And I went in just looking at all the benefits that you get on the back end, with, coming together, everybody having like minds and, building something beautiful. And that's what I was really wanting to do. Well, sometime when I was brought in, my husband did tell me that, it was somebody else that he already had a potential. This person stayed in another state. And so I was actually kind of being brought in to the situation. I was so excited. Oh my God, we finna build and we finna do these great things. And when I came in, actually the person that we were interested in, it didn't work out. So he and I, it didn't work out. They were not able to move here. I actually had started building a bond with this sister, and I love her. I still love her to this day. We are great friends, but it just didn't work out. And so we started moving forward with getting someone else. And that's when I started to realize there were things about myself that lay dormant with me emotionally that I had not known. And becoming polygynous. I'm sorry, what was that?
What were some of the things that were lying dormant?
Just insecurities, like from past traumas from my relationship, from my previous marriage. Before I met the king that I'm with now, I was married for 17 years. So there were some things that I went through in that relationship. Like it was mainly a lot of infidelity. I was contacted by several females. It was really bad marriage. So being polygynous, and when with my current husband, when he and I decided to move forward and look for someone else, that's when I realized that I was not prepared as much as I thought I was. And so we started looking for other women and to bring it, someone to build, and we found someone. And what I realized what happened is that when I started to initially bond with this sister, I was fine as long as we were together, but it was like whenever we started getting to the point that him and her wanted to start spending time together, that's when I started having all of these issues that I had that were just suppressed. And for instance, let me see, I'm trying to think of a time because it was a lot of.
Let me ask you, because I talked to you a little bit about it. I want to back up a little because I really want to focus on how this sister, I'm talking to the family and to you, she was like, I want to do it. let's do it. So you were on board, and that
Right.
is something that a lot of sisters don't do, and lately a lot of sisters do. So you were on board, you were
Right.
open. It wasn't like you came in where you wanted to intentionally stop him from
Right.
being anybody. So
Exactly.
did you consider the sex part then, obviously, right?
I did not. I honestly didn't think about any of that. Well, I knew it. Let me explain it. When I first came on board, it was like I really wasn't thinking about any of that because of the person that I met that we were initially going to go with. I had developed this bond. It was a really sisterly bond. So with her, I didn't feel like that. Like I felt like we was all going to be together. I did know that there would be a time where they would have to spend time, and actually they did. You know, he went to travel to go see her, but it was when that situation didn't work out. I wasn't ready for the change when we got ready to move forward, because him and I together, we agreed that we were on a mission. That's what I came in. We agreed that we were on a mission to build, you know, to bring our families together and things of that nature. So when we started moving forward, looking for other, you know, sisters, you know, to come in, that's when I just started having a lot of issues and asking questions. And I realized I had not done as much research as I thought I did. I was looking at the end process of the end process of polygyny, but I didn't consider what it took to get to that point, which is, you know, the courting phase and things that I just was not prepared for. I did not prepare myself for. And we did find somebody, and the sister, when she came in, you know, I met her, and it was nothing with her. It's just that all of these things that started coming out, it was actually just emotions that I started dealing with within myself. Like I just felt insecure. I felt like I wasn't enough. You know, then I just started having all these feelings of why I'm not enough for you, and why can't we just move forward? And he was, you know, we was like, no, I got to stay focused on the mission. It was the sister that we brought in, it lasted 67 days. And out of 67 days, he spent 5 nights with her. Well, actually 2 of them, he had to come back.
Tell the family about that. I really want you to share that story.
Yes.
I know you're laughing, but it really, I mentioned to you, just talking like in a really therapeutic way,
Mm-hmm.
that and you realize that there was some underlying trauma that you weren't facing that caused you to have such anxiety. I want you to tell people how friendly you were. You told me about, you know, talked about the movie night and the children. So go ahead and share with the family about those particular incidents, please, sister.
Yeah, there were a lot of beautiful moments, like I stated, when we were all spending time together, like when we would cook and all sit down and have dinner. He would cook for both of us, and we had moments like that were beautiful. Our children would spend time, like he bonded with her children, you know, all the things that I watched them do, like it was a beautiful thing. It really was. And watching all of that come together. But it was just that any time that when he started, you know, saying that, or she started saying, you know, she wanted to spend more time with him to try to connect, I started having those issues. But it was beautiful. Like I had no issue when we were together, but it was when I started feeling like the feelings that I was experiencing during the time when he would leave, I felt like I was being cheated on. That's how I feel. Each made the same emotions that I experienced with my first husband when he would leave to go spend time with her. That is how I felt. It was just a really horrible feeling, and I just wanted the feeling to go away. So I started doing a lot of things I felt like to try to get rid of the feeling. Like, you know, Dr. Ali was saying, you know, she was made the comment saying, you know, we just need to go and do something, work on projects, better ourselves. So it was things that I started trying to do when he would leave to try to, you know, get my mind off of it and try to be positive. But it was like those feelings, they just took over me. And I just could not, I did everything I could to try to, and then I didn't have any like support. I didn't have anybody to reach out to, like, you know, family, you know, people that, you know, that's not going to agree with what you're doing. So, of course, they would always say they would try to detour you. And I didn't want that. I wanted somebody that was going to be positive to try to, make me feel, you know, uplifted. And, you know, that's really good what you guys are doing. So I didn't have that type of support. So I did turn to social media. I got kicked out of every polygyny group on social media because I would get in there and get into it with a lot of admins because I would have my point of view about certain things. And I would never be in a polygynist group no more than like a day or two because I would get into it with a lot of members in there. So it was like I didn't have a support group. Mm-hmm.
Well, let me just add this part. I don't know what was going on in the groups, but just from what we discussed, and I want to share it with the audience. The sister, first off, it boils down to your relationship, what you're doing with your mate. Mm-hmm. So at the core, if it works for both of you, then it works. Now, with that all said and got that out the way, ideally, knowing human behavior, knowing women, men should never commission their wives to go search for another wife. It just is a recipe for disaster. So for brothers who are wanting to do polygyny, but they're adding, saying, to their wives, let's go out and find a wife for me. If you're telling your wife, let's go find a wife, now remember, she's not saying, you know what? I want you to get another wife and I love my friend. I want you. That's not what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a man to sit down with his wife and say, okay, team, let's go out and find me a wife. That's just a recipe for disaster. That already can spark some issues, some insecurities. And as you heard Dr. Shahrazad Ali say, it's always about us having that jealousy or that thought, oh, what is she doing? And what is she getting that I'm not getting? So it's not an ideal thing to do, to commission your wife to go look for another wife. So right there, sis, I talked to you about how that you got off on the wrong foot. And then compiled by that, you had trust issues already that you didn't address. So kudos to your husband, by the way. Yeah. What a very wonderful husband you have, because I don't know if I missed it, but you did tell me that after all of the anxiety and, not being able to do it, and it was turning very dysfunctional, he pulled back and he said, what?
Yes, we invited the sister over and he ended it. He ended the relationship with her and let her know that, as we stated, that this isn't working. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt her. And it's just becoming too much. And I felt really bad about it. I really, truly did. She was very emotional. She was very upset, extremely. And now, I was very emotional. Mm-hmm.
Right. So you had developed a friendship with her.
Yeah, I did when we were together, but it was like whenever he went to go spend time with her, I started having these animosities that I was building up towards her. It was nothing that she did. It was nothing that she did at all. She didn't do anything wrong. And I was trying to, in my mind, my defense was automatically trying to point the finger at her, to try to make myself feel like, oh, it's not you. But when I realized that it was me that was having the problems, I acknowledged it. And I even told her it's definitely me. And, this was definitely nothing intentional to bring you in to hurt you. I thought I was prepared for something and I was not. So it's a difference where I really thought I was ready to do this. I really, truly did. I had just, at that moment, when I started getting to the situation, I realized that, sis, you did not do as much research as you thought you were. And there were some things about you that was suppressed that you need to work on. And that polygyny that situation brought all of those demons and things that I had suppressed. It brought all of it out. Because honestly, I thought I was like, when I left out of my previous marriage, I moved on. Hey, I'm good. It was him. And when I got into this situation, I felt like, oh my goodness, I met a wonderful man. And then I had already been looking into this, and then I ran right into someone. This was definitely divine. This is something I've been looking for. But the mindset that I had was not the right mindset. And I realized that because I actually went into it with more of a business mindset. And even with the first sister that we had, the bond that I had was different because we kind of got to know each other a lot. But when this sister was coming in, I looked at her as though she was an employee. That's kind of like how I looked at her, because I'm looking like, you coming in to help us. And that's what she agreed as well. Okay, I'm coming to help y'all. But when I looked at her like that, and it was wrong. It was something that I just mentally did. And I just think that it just made the situation even worse. Because
right,
when she came in.
Excuse me. That's a very important point. Now, you said this was the second one or the first one, which is really not
right.
See, I want to talk about that. And this is we need to stick on this. When you're doing poly, before I even go with your mindset, I'm talking about the man. Do not tell your wife, oh, I just want to bring somebody in to help you with the kids and cook and clean. You're first off, you're being delusional. You're not being completely honest with yourself or with your wife. And so with the wife, the woman, yes, that's not a good mindset to say, well, he's only with her because she's gonna be helping me as a helper or a cleaner. It's always going to be, if you want to be realistic, he's gonna love her just like he loves me. Not just like he loves you as your signature katana self or my Napah self. He'll love me as Napah and there's no other, but he's gonna love her as a wife just like he loves me as a wife. And when you go in with that mindset, then you'll be able to deal with whatever comes in, like him wanting to make love to her, him wanting to spend a lot of time with her, especially in the beginning. So I just wanted to jump in and say, like, a lot of people do make that mistake. By a lot of men will tell their wives, well, I just want you to have somebody else, when that's not why. It's just because he's innately wants to have more than one woman. So I wanted to jump in on that and say, yeah, that's also the wrong mindset. But you already know that because you figured it out. So yeah, you thought of her as an employee.
I did. That's just how I perceived it. Now he didn't push that agenda with me to make me feel like that. That's something that I definitely did on my own. That's just what I did. I felt like that would help me cope with the situation. I don't know why I didn't do that with the first, because again, I bonded with her, and that was I just bonded with her. And with this situation, with her coming in, she is kind of like, when you bring in a sister wife in poly, I assume that when they come in like expecting the same treatment right off the bat. I mean, as anyone should. You ask me to be a wife, I'm not going to come in and getting less treatment or time spent and things like that. And see, that's what I did. I was trying to control the situation because of my fears that I had, and I did try to do that. You know, she got 2 days a week, Mondays and Fridays, and I absolutely dreaded those days when it came time for her to go spend time. And it was really, really, it was very, very difficult. And she didn't deserve that. She honestly didn't. She truly didn't deserve that. It was me, and I'm woman enough to admit that that is not the way that situation should have been ran. It shouldn't. And I continued to try to push through it, and the more I stayed in it, it's just the more the situation got even worse. And you know, she definitely deserved that.
Right. And I love that about you. I love your honesty. I love how when you reached out to me, that's what you led with, you know, because it seems to me that you, number one, you're very balanced. You have a great relationship with your husband.
Yeah.
He wants poly, and you see the advantages of it, but jumping into it the way you guys did, it's a recipe for disaster. What I do also like is, and I'm happy for you that you guys just didn't go forward with it and it just destroyed everything, because it can destroy your current marriage, brothers and sisters. If you have a current marriage, I've said this to people before, if you have a current marriage and your wife is not poly, I'm not even talking about this sister, how she said, okay, I'm on board. If your wife is not poly and you're already married, you're at a disadvantage as a man, because yes, it's innately your right, but you have to be fair and just to your wife who you joined a union with and a contract with. You know, you have to say, okay, I came into this monogamous. I told her I'm monogamous. I can't just come in and be like, well, we're going to do poly now. So that's why in the beginning, brothers, no matter how hard it is, if you go into a marriage, I know you might be like, she's the only woman I want. I've heard that. But you need to still say, look, there might be a time when we decide to be poly. And if she says, what are you talking about? There might be a time in our marriage where we decide to be poly. And if you think, well, I don't want to scare her away, but then what would you rather not, you know, scare her away at the first, where she doesn't get into something where you treat her unfairly and she's all upset because you got another woman? Wouldn't you rather do that at first and not take it further than, you know, have it to where it's a disastrous marriage? So, I mean, really, I'm going on and on because in the beginning is really crucial. So I like how your husband said, it's not worth it, I'm pulling out. But that must have been hard for him, and especially hard for her. I mean, thinking about her emotions, she had already tied herself into this man. And especially in the beginning, there's a lot of strong passion and love. Did you talk to her at all about, you know, how she felt having to see him walk away? Because you did say that he sat down all three of you and you guys called it off together. What did she ever express her disappointment? And did you ever see her really like basically her heartbreak? Because that was an issue, right? Talk to us about that.
Yeah. She was really disappointed because, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, she was really disappointed because he was a father figure to her children.
Right.
And she stressed that that's what she really wanted. And that was one of the main reasons for her wanting to do it, because she felt like he was a great father figure to her kids. And that was mainly just all that she wanted. So.
Wow. And were you attached to the children too, sis?
I was kind of like still getting to know them. Like her daughter was playing with my daughter. So that was a lovely thing. We had not really, like it was only like 67 days. And I was getting to the point that where we were all bonded and getting to that point. But yes, I know my daughter loved her daughter. They spent time, her daughter spent the night here several times, because we was like in initial phases of trying to really, you know, build
a family.
Yeah, right, exactly. And, you know, my husband, he loves children, and he was trying his best. He really did. He tried his best, and he was there for me. He was there for me emotionally. He did everything he could, and I just could not get it together. That's one of the main reasons I was really pushing, but I wasn't doing it. Let me also make this clear, because a lot of people always think that I went into this for a man. I didn't do that. This is something that I chose to do on my own, that I was even seeking this before I even met him. So I decided to move forward with it. That's why I was trying to move forward with the entire situation, is because it was something in me that I feel like I just wanted to do anyway, but I just realized I was not as ready as I thought I was. So, but yeah.
Well, sis, let me say this. I absolutely have so much respect and love for you. And I talked to you for a minute, and I plan on getting to talking to you more. But I want to tell you, I can see how painful this is for you. And that lets people see, you know, every sister isn't just trying to stop her man from having another woman. There are sisters like Sister Katana, who's got the echo. There are sisters like Sister Katana who try it, but then if you don't have the right guidance, you know, it can get dysfunctional. So I just want to let you know that we love you and we support you. It seems like it was very painful to see that relationship end, but I want to talk to you because there is hope. So I want to talk to you about the things that I want to focus on what you said. I love what you said. And I want the sisters out there to hear what you said. And we're going to talk about poly is for us too. Poly is for you, sisters. It's not just for your husband. And when I say poly, I mean polygyny. It's not just for your husband. In fact, I have said many times, we win. We got the upper hand in poly because we know how to do it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
When there are correct sisters involved, good women who respect each other. Let me talk to you about the main thing that you have to do in poly. Now stay with me, because I'm not going to tell you have to be a doormat or a toilet or a buffet.
Right.
But the main thing you do in poly is you come in, if you're coming in, you bow down and humble yourself to the marriage. And guess who's a part of that marriage? The woman. You bow down. Initially, you come in. If the woman if the man is honest with his wife, he's poly, his wife is poly. They're both poly. I'm not talking about monogamous relationship that he's trying to bring you in. I'm talking about the clear lines of communication that when you meet a man and he says, yes, I'm poly, I'm a polygynist, my wife knows I'm a polygynist, then you come in and you humble yourself to that marriage. And I'm going to talk to you, Sister Katana, about that. Because we have our womanly instincts and we've already determined that you're not some catty woman. You said you wanted poly for yourself. In your instincts, did you somehow feel like possibly the sister, and I'm not bashing her, but sometimes sisters come in like, it's equal, you and me, we the same. No, pump your brakes. We're not the same, because I was here first. You understand what I'm saying? So
right.
That doesn't mean, like I said, see, y'all got to stay with me. That doesn't mean that he loves her more than you, and you got to be, walking behind her like, yes, mistress. No, but when you come in, there's a strong sense, and you have to express fully to the sister, hey, I'm happy to be in this marriage with him and with you.
I agree.
Hey, I know you were married before me. Let me get to know you and what you do and don't want. Now, if it's unreasonable, like, I love you, Katana, but I talked about this. If it's like you get 2 days a week, and I don't think so.
Right.
You can't tell me I got 2 days a week with my husband, and you're going to tell me what the days are. I can't be in that bed. So I'm laughing because you the type of sister be like, oh yeah, you know what, that really doesn't. Because I tell sisters who are the so-called first wives, now getting on them, you didn't have anybody telling you how many days you could be with him or telling you how close you can sit with him on the sofa. You know what I mean? So we have to really work out the mutual. I just showed you what I'm talking about, the reciprocity of respect, but right. It goes back to, I can't stress it enough. Initially, it has to be initiated by the woman coming in. She has to. It's imperative that she bows down and humbles herself. And she has to sincerely do it. Don't come in fake and doing that whole, oh, I'm so sorry that he loves me so much. I'll talk to him and tell him to spend more time with you. No, just because you're the NP, and you know what I said, the new kitty, new P, just because you're NP, don't get it confused that, you think that you're higher than the sister who's already there. Now, again, the sister who's already there needs to also be like, hey, nobody was trying to govern my love and connection with my man when I came in. So I have to respect that. So as you see, it's kind of like a cycle. But right. Getting back to you, because I'm gonna pass it back to you, Katana. Did you sense any of that? Like, well, maybe she's coming in here trying to be, she's not working her way up to where she's supposed to be as a wife. She's coming in kind of trying to not take over, but like level eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Did you feel that?
I honestly didn't. I didn't get that. I honestly didn't get that type of vibe from her. I really didn't.
Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get that vibe from her.
Okay, that's good. No, so really, basically, what we see, we're getting to the bottom of, and it's beautiful, is that you admit it was all about your insecurities. Now, with that understood, not just the sister Katana, but every sister. Guess what? Even me, even super pro poly life polygyny Napah. Every woman at one point in every relationship gets insecure, even in monogamous relationships. When you have, let's say, guess what? When you have your husband and he's really close to his female cousin, I'm not going to talk about the male connections, his female cousin. Oh, she knows me better than you. Oh, yeah, remember? And they're sitting there talking about, oh, remember when we were this, and that's so funny. You start to go, dang, I don't have, I want to be a part of this. And does he think she's better? And after a while, you'll say, why are you always bringing your cousin up? Ugh. You understand? So every woman gets some type of insecurity. And guess what? I always reference siblings. Siblings do it with parents. Why did daddy give her a gold star and tell her that she's doing ballet so well? I do ballet. Daddy only told me one time that I do ballet well. But every time I turn around, he's telling her that she does ballet well. So it happens. It's natural in relationships. What we need to do, if we're gonna go into poly and we're on board, we can't say, oh, and I'm not talking about you, sweetheart. I love you for being on here, but I'm gonna say this. We can't just say, oh, I call it off. Call it off. You told her that she's looking good in that head wrap, and I have the exact same head wrap, and I don't want to do it. So we have to, if we really value it, we have to find even outside sources like counselors to come in and say, okay, let me make sure that this isn't about you and your jealousy, Katana, and let me make sure that she's not. It's not about her trying to come in and usurp any type of position over you. So when we find the clear lines, if everybody wants to do it, there are ways to say, wait a minute, I'm being a little jealous. Wait a minute, like our sister Katana did do. So I'm going on and on and on, but this is a great story because it touches home for a lot of sisters. I want to bring the other sisters in because they're sitting here and they both have polygyny interests. We have two polygynist interest sisters on the panel. Let me go to Talia. Talia, you and your husband have discussed, similar to the sister, discussed the aspect of having a polygynist relationship, marriage, correct, sis?
Right.
Now, talk to us a little bit about some of the anxieties that you had and how you relate to our sister Katana's story.
I'm relate to pretty much a lot of the points that she's talking about when it comes to, how we feel when it comes to that competition or whatever. And these are all things that my husband and I have discussed over and over and over again, just with, when we first got married, he was, I wouldn't say anti-polygyny, but he had, with who we were following at the time, he had established that that's how, he wasn't going to have that. And then later on down the road, when we decided that it was something that he could do, he came to study and find out that it was lawful. So, it's been a lot of convincing, with me and trying to see all the pros and cons. So I can definitely relate because that's one of my concerns is that, I want it and I'm saying I want it, but I'm kind of afraid that when it happens, not because I'm looking to start a fight even, but just because, I know how I am with my emotions and things happen. So I can see those things happening, but I think it's all about how I would deal with it. That's kind of what has changed from the past to now, because, it's, even if I know that there's going to be issues, I know it's not going to be perfect. No relationship is perfect, like you said, even with monogamy, but, I feel like it's worth it because of what we're going to be building towards. Mm-hmm. And even if it, my relationship has been tough with just me and my husband. And if I had just given up, because things got a little bit hard with him, then, we'd have both been, in a tricky situation. So I guess it's an internal thing. You have to be able to process and say, hey, is this truly what I want for these reasons? And am I willing to put up with whatever negative may come from it, you know, to achieve that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was wonderful. So you see, sisters, we all pretty much have a lot in common when it comes to poly. It just, you know, how we take it on and how we approach it. What about you, Letitia? What about you? And what do you think about, do you relate to the sister story?
I relate to it, but I guess you could say in my situation, I came into it not being submissive. So I called some turmoil because I felt like it should be me. Not so much that I didn't want to be poly, but he was a Black man. She was a Filipino woman. So it was like I didn't want that to be happening. It wasn't because she was a Black woman. It was because she was of a different ethnicity that bothered me. So I wasn't able to submit to her. And so it caused problems in the relationship, but for me, not for them. It pretty much pushed me out, you know. He still dealt with me on a certain level, but you know, I wasn't there for holidays. You know, the wife and the other sister wife were there, you know, but I wasn't invited. I was always left out because, you know, I made things difficult. So that's why going forward now, you know, the next time I'm ever in a relationship, poly relationship, I would want to be the main one, but if I couldn't, I really loved him and I really wanted to be with him, I know better now to be able to know not to handle things in that manner. So I definitely understand where she's coming from.
Wow, let me ask you some questions since you're so graciously sharing. We're going to touch on a lot because you said the thing about her not being a Black woman. So obviously he's Black, he's a Black man. But I want to first ask you, how do you realize, like, what point did you get to when you're like, I wasn't being submissive? Like, what were you doing? Or you weren't really getting along, I should say. What exactly? Give us some examples of what you were doing that really rocked the boat.
Okay, so well, when I first met him, I thought he was a single man.
Okay.
So
he lied to you.
Yes. Yeah, they were separated. They were separated. But you know, I knew nothing of her. So, you know, we were together. I'm thinking we're together exclusive. And I guess you could say that we were because she moved to a whole nother state for whatever marital issues that they were having. Okay. But about 6 to 8 months into our relationship, she decided to come back. So the way that I found out about her, it wasn't even through him. It was through like other people, like, oh, you know, he's married and things of that nature. And then I happened to see them out. So I was young, you know, I was about 20, 21 maybe. So my reaction to things at that time were much different than how I would react to something of that nature now. But for a while, I was upset. But once I got over it, because it was like I still had more time, you know, undivided attention. So it got to the point of, okay, why are you upset about this situation? But there came a time where I started doing things, and I guess you could say being a certain way that would turn him off, like dressing, I guess you could say modest, or the way that I spoke to him to a certain extent when I didn't agree with something. It wasn't a way that you probably should. It wasn't a way that you should be talking to your king. So that drew a wedge between us and drew him closer to home. And as I seen him going closer, you know, back to the wife and mending with her, I would act out and do things.
So it was like you shot yourself in the foot. But yeah. I want to say thank you first off for you two sisters have the similarity of you realize, okay, I went wrong here. That's what I really appreciate. And that shows that you have great potential to have great relationships. I mean, you already have a great relationship, Katana. But what I'm saying is you know what you did and what you don't want to do in your relationships. I do want to address my sister Joyce Scales. Thank you for tuning in, sis. I want to address the question that she had, which is a really good question. So because I can clarify. She said, but why do you have to submit to the other wife? You're not married to her. you're married to him. That's awesome. So what I want to do is say this. When I said when you come into the relationship, sis, you are submitting to the marriage itself. You are letting this sister know, I respect you in this marriage. I'm not coming in to push you out. I'm not coming in to infringe upon anything. I'm not coming in to put a wedge between you and your husband. I'm coming in to be a part of the marriage with him and ultimately with her. Nothing, you know how people say pause. I'm not saying that you're coming in to be in a relationship with her. We're talking about heterosexuality. So you're coming in and it's not like you, and by the way, Joy, you're not gonna always have to be going through years and years. Oh, well, I'm gonna let her sit in the front seat. No. I'm specifically saying when you come into the marriage, it's imperative that you make the sister feel comfortable. Like with Katana, I'm gonna hand it back over to you. When the sister came into your marriage, she respected your marriage, right? She made you feel like, oh, she sees that he loves me and that we're together, and she wants to come in and be a part of this. She didn't come in like, oh, yes, watch how I do it, Katana, flips hair. You know, like, tell us about that. Did you feel like she came in respecting your marriage? That's what I mean. Talk to us about that.
Yes, honestly did. She came in she did come in, she was very respectful. And I think I started putting up a wall because but I stopped it. It's what I thought. When I felt like she was getting kind of little close, then that's when I just started like trying to pump the brakes on everything, because in my mind, I had started at that point thinking, oh, you just trying to get close to me so you can just, because ultimately in my mind, this is what I was thinking, that you just want to start spending time with him immediately. Yeah, because you're coming in, it may not have been what she was thinking, but I was just saying to myself, I think you're doing this just to hurry up and so you can just start spending time with him. That's your ultimate goal. But
let me comment on that real quick. I'm not going to be long. Guess what? Part of that is true. That's absolutely right. 100%. I'm coming in, showing you love, getting to know you and respecting you, because I want him. You get it? Like, I want this man. He's amazing. I love him. What do I need to do to make you feel good about me having him as my husband too? So yeah, so we don't have to feel like, oh, underhanded. Now, when they start doing things like, remember I told you when she's like, this is the part I don't like. When they come in and they're perfect and they're like, still he's really focusing on them, but they highlighted women are slick, highlighted in a real slick way, like, oh, he just loves my potato salad. Oh, when you made potato salad, and like, oh yes, he just will not stop eating my potato salad. And you're looking like, well, okay, I made potato salad for him, and here it is. Oh yeah, no, it's good. I know he loves yours too. What do you mean you know he loves mine too? See, women, we're very territorial when it comes to our relationships. Right. So when she starts doing little things like that, that's when you can be like, she doesn't have my best interest in mind as well. But if she comes in and she's just loving you and wanting to get to know you, she wants to get to know you ultimately because she wants to be married to him. But that doesn't mean that it's not genuinely sincere love for you, wanting to get to know you as a sister, because she wants to be your sister wife. So we need to be able to use the correct discernment. And I like how you said at first you had your guard up, because you're no pushover. I want everybody to know this sister doesn't sound like any pushover. So you functioned really well up until that last minute where you said they had to get together. And let's talk more about that. I want to talk more about that, like the sexual side of it. How did he react? Would you ever ask him questions like, "What'd you do with her? How'd you do it?"
I did.
Uh-oh. Talk to
I
us about
did.
that.
Yes, and my husband, he's very honest and upfront, and he's always been that way. That's one of the great things that I love about him, and why I felt like I was okay, that he was the perfect king to embark on this mission with. But yes, I asked him the first night when he left if he did do that. And I was asking specific details, and he was like, why would you ask me those type of questions? You know, why would you want to do that? I don't even want to do that because it's gonna hurt you. But I asked him things, and some things that he will reveal, and it was enough for me to get upset. It was enough for me to get upset. But he was like, you know, this is what we were doing, and I would just break down. I would break completely down. Yeah.
Oh wow! So you asked for it, and then when he told you, the son knitter has a soundbite of me saying, "You asked for it, now you're gonna get it." So you asked for it. You asked for it. That's something. I don't know. It depends on the person. For me, I would want to know because I want to keep keep up with the Joneses. Like I don't want him. I don't want him telling me. I don't want him keeping that from me. Like, excuse me, I can do back bend too, boo. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't want, but I don't think he has to share those details though. I want to add that because we are talking about another person, especially our king. If he doesn't want to share it, then we have to respect that. We're gonna have to find out a different way though. Y'all thought I was just trying to, see, I'm telling you, sisters, I'm for you. Y'all think I was gonna say just don't worry about it. No, we gotta find out another way without him even knowing we're finding out. And don't ask her because then she'll be like, I guess y'all having some issues that we ain't having. Like you don't want to ask her. You just gotta kind of, that's even about monogamy. In monogamous relationships, you gotta find out, pull it out of him, and he has to pull it out of you. I'm talking about in marriage, what he likes in the marriage bed. So anyway, I'm gonna take some calls though, because it's getting kind of late, and I was wanting to bring in the Mighty Hebrew. I don't know. We went a little bit over schedule because we were waiting for Dr. Shahrazad Ali to get on board, and she did. And I want to say thank you again to her. I want to say shout out to Sonnetter for arranging that and letting her get in touch with me. I absolutely, positively love her. We just sat back and just enjoyed what she was giving us. But anyway, I'm saying the Mighty Hebrew, I'm so sorry, brother, if you're listening. If you're not listening, I was holding on, sending you some messages because I wanted to bring you and your beautiful queen on, your Isha, so you could show people, give us some examples of how polygyny works well. So if you're out there in YouTube land, y'all like my voice? If you're out there in YouTube land and you're listening, hit the link, brother. I sent it to you. If not, we'll schedule it for another time and have you come on. So without further ado, I'm going to ask, I don't see any of my mods out there, but if y'all are out there, could you please drop the link again with the phone number? I don't even remember the phone number. I'm so bad. But anyway, y'all talk amongst yourselves while I look for this phone number so I can in fact, you know what? No, I got it. I'll just put the link to the show. You can hit the link and come in and join the stream. Hit the link, please. Join the stream. Come in if you have any questions for the beautiful sister Katana or my co-host. And I'm just happy that you're here, Katana. I absolutely love that.
Yes, I'm glad I'm here learning, and just I feel so positive and empowered. So I thank y'all ladies for definitely sharing y'all stories with me and everything. So I love it. So wow. I'm here for understanding.
And I love you being here. And you are such a great sister to share your story. And the story was really, it's not uncommon. That happened to a lot of sisters. I have a call coming in, y'all, and I'm betting that it's somebody that's listening. So let's take the call and see. Let's see. Peace and Black Power. You are on with Sister Sipdown. And we have Katana on. Did you call in to ask her some questions? If so, please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and ask your question.
Shalom, sisters. This is Morris Shema. I'm just tuning in. I really appreciate what all you all are doing, the discussion that you're having. Having Dr. Shahrazad Ali on there. Shout out to my sister Talia.
Shalom, Bracky.
Can you all hear me?
Oh yeah, she said shalom.
Okay. So I didn't have a question. I feel for the beautiful sister that's speaking on her experience. I am the person that you shared the post when I said I haven't cheated and I don't plan on cheating.
Right.
But I am poly now.
Wow.
Yes, I'm poly now. I'm actually courting someone at this very moment that's also poly. So what I wanted to share to the brothers out there, to the sisters out there is one of the things that I focus on and I try to share to people is put it all out in the open. In front of the situation, you know, if you find you someone that's poly, or if you, especially even if they're poly, ask questions, bring out scenarios. Don't be. I'm not saying anything bad about our brothers and our sisters that do this, or our brothers that do this, but don't hide it from the woman that you're planning on being poly with. You know, I think it'll even be an interesting situation or even fun, depending on the people that you're dealing with in a righteous way. Her wanting to be a part of it. You know, sisterhood is big. I think that a man that's into poly, he should want his Shah to be involved, because the number one goal, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say because I don't want to take too much time, is shalom, peace.
Peace. Wow.
Is the number one thing in the home. If you don't have peace between those wives, it's gonna fail. You're not gonna be successful. So I just wanted to say that, man. I love what you're doing, Sister Napah.
Peace.
We're friends on Facebook. I don't know if you know who I am, but hallelujah for everything that y'all doing, and you know, good luck with everybody doing this journey.
All right, brother. Before I let you go, who are you? Because I don't want to be beating you up without knowing who you are. You might.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. What's your name on Facebook? On Facebook.
On Facebook is Morris Shema. I'm one of the singers, songwriters.
So okay.
I don't know if y'all heard my music. I think you have. I don't know if you recall.
I probably have. All right, wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you, brother. We appreciate your words of wisdom coming from a brother. We appreciate your support, and continue to tune in and share. Don't forget to share the video. Now I know he's a song producer. I gotta sing, you know, share the video. Just kidding. I'm joking. I don't really sing like that, y'all. All right, brother. Peace and black power. Shalom. Our sister Shika came onto the panel. Katana, they know you. You're a little bit of a celebrity, I see.
Oh, really?
I already seen a couple sisters say they love you. Jasmine said, I love you, Katana.
Oh, thank y'all for the love.
Yeah, and Nasira's in there. She's like, she has your back. I was like, does Nasira know a little background on this? Because she was going in. She's like, no, sis, go with your instincts, which is true. Absolutely. Peace, Shika. Shika's joining us. Her camera is off. Do you want to turn your camera?
No, I can't right now. Forgive me. We had a lovely time today.
Yeah,
but I was.
Today was your mom's birthday, or it is your mom's birthday, right?
Yeah. Today was my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, mommy! Love you. And next Friday will be my birthday.
Right.
Well, me and my twin sister's birthday. Coming to America is coming out. We having a party.
Yeah. Are you still going to Vegas?
Viva Las Vegas. We got a suite. We at the Mirage, and it's gonna be me and all of my high school girlfriends. It's a girls' trip, and it's gonna be great.
That's awesome. So Shika, I'm glad you ended up. I know that's what I was. 1 second, y'all. Sanetter, I've been calling you, and I guess you must have been live. So please, King, call me. Because I've been trying to contact the brother. He did come in during Dr. Shahrazad Ali, but you know, Anyway, this is production stuff, y'all. Sheikah, what did you want to jump on and say? I'm going to go ahead and mute out.
Well, first, shout out to Mighty Hebrew. That's my brother. I mean, you know, I've talked to him many times. He is so powerful and impactful in our community. So I want to say that. I listened to you guys' conversation with Dr. Ali, and I don't really disagree with much of what she said. Having been someone who has been married to a Black man, I see how, you know, the world is coming to attack our men. The one thing I did want her to, the one thing that I did want to ask her that I didn't get to ask is what should we be teaching our young girls to respond to, and you know, what to do as far as screening what men that they're allowing into their lives. But I also been listening to the Sister Katana and her experience with polygyny, and I think what she's saying about her feelings and how she felt is very valid. We watched the show.
Shika, I don't know if you can tell, but you're breaking up. We can't really hear you. So you might want to go out. Like it's breaking up. I don't know if you want to go out and come back in.
Yeah, let me do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was having. Could you guys hear her breaking up? Oh, you could hear her clearly?
I heard her coming in fine.
Oh, I was hearing her like garble, like borging out. Oh, she's back. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's try that again. All right, sis. You're back. Can you hear me? Shika?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you better now. You were borging on my end. They said they could hear you, but you were borging out. Go ahead.
I know. Well, I did enjoy your dialogue with Dr. Ali. It was very good. She says a lot of things that I do say with the same energy. But I think when you put the title feminist on it, it just comes across differently. But at the same time, what I wanted her to, and maybe your next sit down with her, is to teach girls what they should be looking for and how to screen who they're going to be with, you know? And so that would be the only thing that I thought was, you know, missing from that. I really would have liked her to talk about that. But what she said about our men are true. And I think our last conversation, we talked about why do women stay so long? Because we could see what's happening to our men, okay? We could see that happening to our men and hurting and affecting them in their decisions. And so we remain patient as women. And I also heard to kind of talk about her experience and her feelings and emotions. And I think that any woman, that even when they accept polygyny, they will have those emotions, you know? And I think it should be expected and it should be dealt with in a certain manner, because when you're talking about equity, it is not always going to be equitable in relationship and how people deal with one another. If you're a woman who has your own career, you have your own assets and stuff, you're not going to be that worried about a man. And I'm not saying that you don't, Katana. I'm just saying you're just like, okay, you know, you have to say okay, or else you're going to die inside, you know. And that's true even in a monogamous relationship.
Right.
And so I think that at least you can come to grips to reality of how you really feel and what you really want to do. What we have presented on this show, and shout out to Imuna Israel of Under the Palm. I was talking to her in the chat. I was a part of that panel as well. She said that the segue into polygyny gave pause. And I was like, we have described polygyny in righteousness on this show, right? which means that it's not a means to salvage a relationship. It's not a means to make a relationship better. It's an already harmonious relationship that you choose to add people to. Okay. It's a responsibility of the man. It is more than one woman looking at you and having expectations of you. And so you have to master this with one woman before you try to add on several, you know.
I disagree to a certain extent, because sometimes the reason why the relationship could be ending is because the wife is not willing to accept that he is poly.
Thanks.
So poly would be grounds to save your relationship, because a lot of the times the woman can't handle him being poly. I mean, we just heard from our sister here on the panel that how you have a great man. You have a great man because he put your feelings above desires. But let's be real, there are some men and cultures where it's what I say, it's what I want. You know, and if you're not going to conform to what I say and what I want, you can go. So,
well,
you know,
well, I mean, it's not a put down. It should be a relationship decision, and I think that she made that decision. She didn't understand how she was going to feel in it, and once she got into it, that's when she was able to deal with her feelings. And so I'm not saying, yeah, there are some men say it's going to be. I actually watch a Muslim couple where this woman was married to this man for years, and he was like, I'm going to be poly. She disagreed, and he forced it on her, and then she ended up liking the idea. But it was chaos in his home for a long time, and they talk about it openly. And if you want it to go harmoniously, if you want it to be a good thing, if you want it to be a transition that is beneficial for everybody, because poly is not supposed to just benefit a man, it's supposed to also benefit the wife that's there. Then you would agree. Okay. And
yeah, but it
Katana
can't
agreed.
benefit her if she won't allow for the poly to happen.
But Katana agreed, and she allowed the poly to happen, and she still had those feelings. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that there are women who are involved in it who still have those feelings. And
Of
so
course.
how do you deal with it? How do you cope with it? And so what Sister Napah said is that you get counselors, you work on it. Same thing that you do with a monogamous thing. Me and my husband, we argue and we break up. Well, I think we break up at the same time every year, right? And it just happens that way. But then you put your foot down. What are we going to do? What is this about? What are we talking about? And then you work on it. That is the same thing you have to do with poly. It's the same thing you have to do with any relationship, even girlfriends, even whatever relationship that you have. Now, this is where I have a problem, and no offense to you, Katana, because you were putting your best foot forward. That woman should have had a contract. Your husband shouldn't have been able to walk out of her life without her, receiving some sort of support, whether it was, okay, I got to stay here and live out this commitment to a certain time or whatever. This is not what polygyny should be about. It should be about a man committing the same way he would to one woman to other women, and being brought in the family and having those same rights. Unfortunately, in America, well, I say unfortunately, but it is what it is. In America, you can only have one wife, and so you have all the rights, you have all the stuff. She was left out in the cold, and it was great that he respected you and that she's not with it and I have to back out of this thing, but he did the other wife a disservice. I'm sorry.
I want to jump in. I hear you. I had to step away. Unfortunately, family, there was a miscommunication, a misunderstanding. The mighty Hebrew and his queen will not be able to join us tonight, but I will definitely reschedule them. And shout out to the mighty Hebrew. I will bring you guys back on, mighty Hebrew and your wife, if you're listening, so you can come in, not to just show an example of good poly in marriage, but I also let you talk about your repatriation or expatriation. I think that it's called, about you moving to, you don't say Tanzania, you say Tanzania. So shout out to the mighty Hebrew. Definitely much respect to Prince Shar Landin and his family. We won't be having them on tonight, but that's okay. I just wanted to jump in, interject. I hear y'all going and going and going. So I don't know what was said, pretty much. I missed out, but I'm looking at these faces and y'all aren't smiling. Y'all need to pick up your cup and take a sip. I will not allow my panel that was so turned up earlier to have these long faces. Y'all better sip. In fact, family, I'm going to be moving on to something a little bit more big girl. That's right. I'm going to grab my Shiraz and put it in my little owl cup. So what are we doing over here, y'all? What are we doing? What are we doing? We're talking about marriage. We're talking about poly. Because we're going on 2 hours. I think I'm about to close the stream, actually. Let's do this. Let's do this. Family, hit the link. Come on in. I love you, Max Bird, Mrs. Graham, H. Millette, Reese,
Nasira.
Bonita. Yes, of course, my sister, Nasira. And I think you are a mod. You're a moderator, Nasira. And the sister, I think Jasmine, Sister Noble. Oh, my gosh. My sister Noble's out there. I love y'all. Y'all, it's Friday night. Shabbat is over. So y'all better, is it Friday night? No, it's Saturday night. I'm sorry. Shabbat is over. So you can go ahead and get your sip on. Please don't be looking at us right now, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. Because we're going to start having a little bit, we're going to turn this energy up. I got to get these smiles back on these faces. Get these smiles back on these faces. Come on, Katana. Get that smile back on your face. Come on,
I'm smiling.
Looking like, what's her name? Oh my gosh, Vanity. I'm not old. I just love Prince. And looking like one of the Vanity Six or Apollonia Six.
Oh, really?
So, y'all hit the link. Anybody, we'll take like 2 other people coming in, 2 other audience members coming in, asking a question or making a comment. And then we're going to click peace to my brother, Lord Abba. Lord Abba, you see us talking about poly right now, brother. We are the poly advocates, polygyny advocates. Shout out to Lord Abba. Of course, shout out to Sonetter, my king, the king of consciousness, the GOAT, the Godfather, the real Godfather. Somebody's out there on YouTube trying to claim Godfather. You know you're not Godfather. Stop it. Just stop it. I'm talking to my brother, Kevin Samuels. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. You're not the Godfather. You are doing your thing, though, but you're not the Godfather, brother. That's Sonetter. So hit the link. The reason I'm saying this is I'm moving on to my wine. So knowing me, I'm going to do a post show and like really act up. I don't want to act up on this stream because we have 2 wonderful guests. We had the wonderful opportunity to have Dr. Shahrazad Ali on here, sharing her knowledge, dropping those jewels. And I'm glad our sister Sheikah could jump on and join us too at the end, give her commentary. She really should have let us know what she's sipping on. She's slipping. And I don't know if she's sipping, but she's slipping. Sheikah,
It's Chardonnay. You always know I'm drinking on my Chardonnay and water. Okay.
Chardonnay, that's right. And I'm drinking wine now too, y'all. They're like, let's see how long it takes before the pot turns up. I am a lightweight. So nobody wants to hit the link? Because if not, family, I'd love you so much. We need you all to continue to come by, listen in, support, because, we're building. And like I say, peace and black power. Somebody said, why are you always saying peace and black power? Because I want peace and I want black power. And I want to get along with everybody, though. Peace and black power to the whole world. I want people who aren't black to know peace and black power. So blah, 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 la, la, la. Anybody want to jump in before I close this down? Because when it's closed down, it's done forever. It's just going to go out into the universe out to the YouTube universe. Anybody want to say anything? No? I'm going to go around. Y'all go ahead and say your goodbyes. Say your goodbyes and let people know where they can find you. Let's start with our beautiful sister who came on and shared her wonderful, poignant story. I really love you. When you start getting emotional, I just wanted to stick my arms into the good. Thank you. Really, in my mind, I'm so people gonna say, oh my gosh. I was thinking, I'm like, she would be a good sister wife, but no, but you're already married. So sorry to your husband. Shout out to your husband.
He's watching.
Yes, I'm joking, but I forgot. I'm sorry. He's like, yeah, what the heck? Like, I don't like Napah anymore. No, I'm just saying, I think she's such a lovely sister. Hold on. Wait a minute. This just in. We have someone coming in to jump on the panel to close us out. The one and only Lord Abba. Come on in, Lord Abba. Peace and Black Power. Is that Lord Abba? Oh, that's not Lord Abba. My bad. I thought that was I thought that was his group. This isn't Lord Abba, is it? My eyes. No, that's not my Lord. That's not Lord Abba. Anyway, brother, what's your name? I thought Lord Abba jumped on because he's very pro-poly. And I thought his group, Be the Knowledge. See, that's where you threw me off. It wasn't that I thought he looked like Lord Abba. Y'all were like, you think all of us look alike, huh? No, I can tell that's not Lord Abba. But I thought it said Be the Knowledge. Is that, or Be the Power, whatever. I told y'all that's why that's why I be taking my tea and just taking I care. Okay. How are you, brother?
I can't hear you.
You're not muted on my end. Did you have something to quickly say? I know it's not you, Lord Abba. I'm sorry. I didn't think he looked like you. He had his camera off in the back, just for the record. But I thought I saw Be the Power. And then I saw Be Knowledge, and then the Shahrazad was like, Napah. Okay, so anyway, I know it's not you, Lord Abba. I know it's not you. Peace to you, brother. Did you want to say anything? You're not, well, brother, you must be having some technical. You're not muted on my end. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Y'all hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, I was just about to remove you.
Right on time.
Peace and Black Power. What's your name and what would you like to add, sir?
Yeah, my name is Be Knowledge. That's just my channel name, Be Knowledge Academy. I just want to add on, say peace to everyone. Thanks for what y'all doing. I'm pro polygyny myself. I advocated on here. I'm 26, going on 27. I've been with my wife for over a decade, high school sweetheart.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I've courted several sisters myself, and one of the main problems that I see real quick today with particularly the younger sisters is the submission y'all talking about. So it's good that y'all up here letting everyone know that it's all right and there's ways to go about it. And like sis said, submission is about agreeing. I say it's an intelligent choice that a sister got to make about how she's going to go about moving on, in her life. It's not about a man dominating you, how Western society puts it. It's not about so-called male chauvinism or religious patriarchy, the dogma that comes from that. It's about what's right and exact. And these books, like the Bible and Quran, they're guides. That's why we call it biblical marriage. So they're guides and they can help us. And I think we should take the best part from it. Don't get caught up in the dogma. And most of all, be natural. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for adding. Bless you and your beautiful wife. And I hope that you find, you build and you continue to build your family and find a woman who complements you and your wife and your marriage in the future. One or two, whatever you can accommodate. Peace and Black Power. So, yeah, that was a great, that was great for an ending. As far as the male perspective. Anyway, back to you, Katana, and your wonderful king over there, your husband. Sis, tell us where we can find you. Say your goodbyes. And just thank you. Thank you for joining. Where can we find you? Like social media, if you want people to follow you. And go ahead and say your goodbye, sis.
Okay, well, yes. Well, again, I want to wish everybody a wonderful night. And I can be found on Facebook. You can find me as Katana Lewis, or you can find me on Instagram, the Black Orchid. It's Black_Orchid. If you wanted to find me. But I just want to let everybody know, I thank everybody for all the feedback that I was getting, the positive feedback. The young lady that's on the panel now, I really appreciate, you coming and giving your perspective as well. So I'm learning. That's what I'm here for, to learn, to gain more knowledge and information regarding everything. So, and I thank you for allowing me to be able to come in and share my story and also receive as well.
I love it. And we may be seeing more of this wonderful sister in the future. She will most definitely come back. I'm already telling her what she's going to do.
Definitely.
When I drink wine, I can read minds. So,
Yes.
Bring me back. I got more to say. All right. So
right.
A lot of love, much love to you and your family. And have a wonderful evening. Peace and Black power. You can just see yourself out, sis.
All right. See you later.
Okay. All righty, family. This was wonderful. I love all the sisterhood, and I'm glad that Sheikah could jump on. I was missing her a little bit. Anyway, family, thank you again. I know you're like, damn, you already said thank you. I want to keep saying thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit the like. Y'all who tuned in, somebody is blowing me up from 209. Look, this is live, y'all. I know, Sonia, but this person has called me like 5-6 times. Let me answer and see who this is. Okay, let's see here. Oh, it's a sister. Okay. Peace and Black power, sis. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Shania, and I'm actually calling from California.
Okay.
I just wanted to call. I really enjoyed the entire stream, the sisterhood, the promotion, admission of shortcomings. Like all of those things are refreshing and beautiful, and that's how we grow and build. I just wanted to encourage other sisters who, might be thinking about poly. Like I have not had the opportunity to be in a poly marriage, but I completely and thoroughly look forward to it. I have practice cheers for, when my Coco is getting it in with my Ish, getting ready for season stuff. I've got cheers. I'm going to do Gatorade runs, all that great stuff, just to make sure they have all the energy that they need. But I just wanted to say that I truly, truly appreciate just a lot of the beauty that I had the opportunity to see. My introduction to poly was beautiful. I mean, I've seen a lot of things that are disheartening, but I just wanted to call in and encourage you sisters to continue redefining sisterhood, not just from the stance of offering support for the things that our sisters feel, but also offering what we need in order to be able to grow and get better and continue to love each other and rebuild our families. So, Toda for, everything that you guys are doing, and I look forward to tuning in the future.
Oh, wow. You know what? I absolutely love you. And guess what? See, this is the spirit of the Most High, the Almighty. Girl, you must have called like 7-8 times. And I was like, okay, reject. And the spirit was like the energy. I had to tune in and be like, okay, wait a minute. This is important. Answer the call, Napah. So thank you for being persistent. That was you calling earlier, right?
King, you live, yes.
I love you. Thank you. What is your name?
Shania.
Shania. Wow, Shania. What does that mean? Is that Hebrew, right? Or no?
Yes, it's Hebrew for the number 8. The beautiful brother that I have the privilege of courting at this moment helped me find my name, because what it meant was incredibly important to me, more so than what the actual name was. He did a stellar job in helping me. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. You sisters heard that. Please continue to tune in. You know what? I'm going to keep my number and call you later. So in case, I might bring you on. We gotta have you come on and sit with us, I think, just as a guest. But anyway, even if you don't want to come on, we love you too. We love sisters out there. We love the feedback. And I want you to enjoy your evening. Now, sis, I might be doing an after show. I just want to let you know it's not, I want to apologize for anything that I might do before I do it. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. You have a wonderful evening. Okay. Shalom.
You too.
Shalom. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is an awesome.
Yes.
Anyway, peace to my mods out there. Peace to the sisters. YAHKANON, I saw you calling, but you hung up. Peace to my brother YAHKANON. I know you were calling in to give your male wisdom. Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah, you love you.
Okay, okay, this is last one. We got to hear from the brother, and then I promise y'all we're gonna close the stream. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Peace and black power, YAHKANON. How you doing, brother?
Yo, what's going on, big sis or little sis? I should call you. How's it going?
It's good. How are you doing, brother? I was just about to close the stream, but I said I got to answer this. This is YAHKANON. He wants to give us some of this brotherly wisdom. What did you want to add? And the sisters can hear you. Everybody can hear you.
Oh no, man. Hey, yo, I enjoy your show. All the ladies up here are beautiful.
Thank you.
Especially that Letitia. Yo, she mad cute. But
thank you.
That you guys coming with, big sis Sheikah. I'm always a big supporter of my sister Sheikah. You know what I'm saying? So you keep doing your thing. I'm gonna show my support.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
thank you, brother. Problem. Oh, and you left. Don't forget about Talia. Oh, he hung up, but he meant all of us. Talia's like, that's no skin off my nose. But thank you, brother. Thank you, YAHKANON, for calling in. Thank you, family. I promise I will not take any more calls. I won't keep on blah, 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 blah. I'm going to let the sisters go around. Once again, try this again. We'll start with Talia. Where can the people find you? What are you doing?
You can find me personally under Nubian Princess Tali across all platforms, IG, Facebook, YouTube. And you can find my business. I make skin and hair products, customized clothing, and you can find that at Bruise Butter on Facebook and IG.
Awesome. And Sheikah, where can you be found? And what are you doing?
Oh God, I haven't changed my YouTube. I am so busy putting my hand to the plow. I had to talk to one of my other students how to talk to African Americans. And so just find me where you can. Okay.
Right. No, but Max Bird put your information in the chat. So see, he is the most amazing mod in the universe. Now that doesn't mean
he got it. We got that channel. That channel is, if you need spiritual food, that is the utmost. You're gonna get it. I don't say anything that my father doesn't say. That channel.
Right. Thank you so much, Sister. Sheikah does have some good lessons on her channel. So thank you so much for jumping on and joining us, Sister Sheikah. Last but not least, Letitia getting all that love. The brothers are just loving you. I like that. I like that. You know she is single, y'all. I'm just putting it out there. No, anyway, Letitia, where can the family find you?
Thank you, Napah. As always, thank you for allowing me to be here. You guys can find me here on Sister Sipdown every Saturday. Other than that, you can go find me on Instagram, Melanin Legacy.
Awesome. All right, folks. Right now I don't have any outro music. I'm working on it. But peace and black power. Shalom. Namaste. Jambo. Assalamu alaikum. All the greetings and all the salutations of peace, love, and light, and peace to the darkest minds of the light. All praise to the Most High. And I love you, Sonetter. Peace to the HOK. Have a great evening.